From an obscure offshoot of the PGA to a rival tour gunning for their neck, LIV Golf has accomplished a lot in its short lifespan as one of the only other options for pro players.
First three-putt of the championship.
Despite the backlash it has received from golf's premier tour, LIV keeps growing stronger each year, and it has attracted some of the best players the game has ever seen. If you're one of those fans who like to stay informed about the best players no matter the tour, you might need some help with LIV players. We've crunched the numbers to bring you the most promising players from across the pond.
Joaquin Niemann at 7.
He needs to get a move on too.
And believe us when we say you don't want to miss out when these players might go nuclear.
Mike, this is another one of those instances there where that wiregrass shuts the face down.
A little bit straight up in the air. Where's this going to land? Oh no. You can't.
Bryson DeChambeau. Starting it off with everyone's second favorite American player, Bryson DeChambeau. He was one of those players who initially declined the invitation to leave the PGA, but after a few mishaps at the Memorial Tournament, DeChambeau found himself in a new tour. Some fans didn't know how to feel about DeChambeau making the switch, but since gaining success at LIV, all their concerns had been put to rest. 2024 has been good to Bryson, with a stunning U.S. Open win and other performances that prove he is still as hungry as ever, so it was a shame to see him missing out on the team representing the United States at the Olympics. Bryson DeChambeau could have been sore about missing out on an opportunity to represent his country in an international competition, but that hasn't been the case, and the American has even shown support for Team USA. With improvements to his play and the determination to prove his worth, you might want to keep an eye out for DeChambeau because he might just shock everyone. Mito Pereira. Mito is a Chilean star who had some of his best performances in the PGA in 2022, so it came as a shock when he decided to jump ship to LIV Golf League in 2023. One of the best things about golf is seeing young players work their way to the top through sheer hard work and determination, and Mito is one of those players we had the privilege of watching. This year, the Chilean has played in 8 LIV golf events and secured a top 10 finish in one. He has had other solid performances in the Saudi circuit and looks like a player waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. By qualifying for the Paris Olympics, Pereira might be on course to kickstart his burst to the top of LIV Golf, and it'll be a shame not to be watching when that happens. Tyrell Hatton. It doesn't feel right to include a player who's having an impressive year at LIV, but it would be a real disservice if we don't include Tyrell Hatton in this video. The 32-year-old Englishman defeated the likes of Rahm, DeChambeau, and Niemann at the final round of LIV Golf Nashville, where he played 18 under par. Before his LIV golf title in Nashville, Hatton was on a mean streak of 9 consecutive made-the-cut in majors with 5 top 20 finishes. It was only a matter of time before he got the fruits of his labor, and we're glad we're there to watch him take it in. If you're one of those fans who missed out on his impressive moment, you might want to take a step back because Hatton doesn't look like a satisfied man, so we know there will be more to come. Phil Mickelson. If you're shocked to see Phil Mickelson on a video about players who might run riot on the Saudi circuit, we assure you that it's not a prank. His move to LIV was one of the most publicized due to how much success he has had in the PGA Tour. With 45 PGA Tour wins and 6 major championships, it didn't make sense for the then 51-year-old to make the switch. But that's how you know someone who is hungry for glory. Mickelson might not be in his prime, but counting him out would be a terrible mistake for any golf-loving fan. A reminder of his second-place finish at the 2023 Masters should be enough to convince you that he still has what it takes to compete at the top. Those who remember Mickelson in his prime know that a player like that always has something tucked under their sleeve. All he needs is the right moment. Joaquin Niemann. The loss of Joaquin Niemann didn't hurt the stardom of the PGA Tour, but was a worrying sign of what the future may hold. Niemann was only 23 years old and remains one of the best young golfers in the world. He won the Genesis Invitational in 2022, a sign that Niemann was on a clear trajectory to be a dominant golfer. It was publicly covered that Niemann was on the fence about whether to join the LIV Tour or stay with the PGA, but that quickly changed after a weekend at a LIV Boston event. Skip a few years and Niemann has won 2 LIV golf titles and will be representing his country at the Olympics. Joaquin Niemann is one of those players you can't take your eyes off unless you want to miss something special. Cameron Smith. Several fans were looking forward to watching Australian star Cameron Smith duke it out in the PGA Tour, so you can understand the disappointment when he decided to switch to LIV. Since joining the circuit, Cameron has done well for himself with 2 individual LIV victories that show just how much the Aussie loves to compete. Despite what PGA Tour diehards would like you to believe, Smith is one hell of a player, and it's sad we didn't see what the 30-year-old could achieve at the PGA. Seeing him go toe-to-toe with the best LIV Golf Tour has to offer sends shivers down our spines, and you would be really missing out if you're not keeping an eye out for his performance. Brooks Koepka. When it comes to success in the LIV golf scene, Brooks Koepka really knows how to make it look easy. Despite being one of those players who denied they would join the Saudi circuit, Brooks is officially the first player in LIV golf history to win 4 individual tournament titles. He carried over that impressive tenacity that saw him defend his PGA championship in 2018-2019, so the titles did not come as a shock, but Brooks still has a lot in store for fans of the sport. If you'd like to see Brooks continue his mean streak, this sounds like the perfect reminder to keep an eye out for the American. Jon Rahm. With how dominant the PGA has been, fans believe the Saudi-backed tour would only attract stars seeing a decline in their career. But players like Jon Rahm prove how wrong we were. It's not every day we get to see the number 6 ranked player in the world jump ship like Rahm did, but it happened, and we have to live with it. If you had told us the 2023 Masters winner would be making their way to the Saudi circuit, we would have laughed it off. But Rahm has set the precedent for what to expect in the future. Knowing what Jon Rahm can do, you shouldn't need a reminder to watch him play, but we feel like something spectacular is about to happen, and you wouldn't want to miss out on it. Do you think we missed any player who would give Scheffler a run for his money in this video? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments below.
20-year-old out of Arizona State, Phil Mickelson, the first amateur in 5.
Cut shot, and this is a strange follow-through.
I mean, that is frightening follow.